Yes, we are. Oh, great. We are on finally. Thank you so much. And hi, everyone. How are you doing today? Thank you for tuning into Gwendo Marketing. I have a very special guest here with us today, and I'm so honored to have her on my page just to give us a little bit information about her life and what she's doing in her business. And her name is Debra. How do you pronounce your last name, Debra?
McClanaghan.
McClanaghan. Great, thanks. And so let's start with some introductory about you and who you are and where you live, and and I'm pretty sure everyone wants to know how old you are.
Okay. All right. Well, my name is Debra, and I'm a very successful online business owner. But first of all, I'm a child of God. I am a mother of 6, a grandmother of 17, soon to be a grandmother of 18, and a great grandmother of 5. And
Wow.
I'm living in beautiful, sunny Playa del Carmen, Mexico. I'm originally from Alberta, Canada, where it gets very cold, but I've been blessed through this business, and it has given me the opportunity to be able to live here. So I thank God every day for giving me that opportunity.
That's great. And so Deborah, when did you what were you doing before this business that you
Actually, I had been laid off. I'm an accountant by trade, but I was working for a company called Finning Canada, and I was a customer service advisor from them, which means I was doing a lot of book work. I was opening and closing work orders and sending the bills out, and setting up appointments for the mechanics to go and do services on the heavy equipment that are there. In the oil sands, and I had been laid off, and there was 1,200 of us laid off in that year.
Oh.
In October, I did make it through till October of that year, but I get laid off my position of many years. So was I really looking for an online business? I don't think so. I was just looking for a way to make money. Because after I was laid off, I started taking resumes out, and, I get lots of interviews, but everybody asks me, how long do you plan on staying in the workforce? Well, you know what? Nobody wants to hire anybody over the age of 60. That is a given, right? So I had to come with the realization that, people don't want to hire us, and because they're only expecting us to work for a few more years and then retirement. Well, if I had stayed working for people, I would have had to work to the day I died.
Yes.
Because when you work for somebody else, you are increasing their funds for them to be able to go on vacation and do things. And when you work for somebody else too, they tell you what time to get up in the morning, because you have to go to work a certain day. They tell you what days you can sleep in or you can't sleep in. They tell you when you can eat, when you can take a break, when you can go to the bathroom, when you can spend time with your children, right? They are in control of your whole life when you work for somebody else. They can tell you when and where you're going on vacation, because they'll tell you, yeah, you can have 2 weeks off but no pay. So that means you're not taking a trip to Mexico. You're going to take your vacation at home, someplace where it's not going to cost you money. So they even determine where you go on vacation, right? So when you work for somebody else, they determine your whole life.
Yes.
So when I started searching online, I wanted something that I could earn income that could sustain a lifestyle that I had built for myself. And I wanted something with integrity, and I wanted something that I could leave a legacy to my children. Because, when you work for somebody else, when your job ends, that's it. The income ends.
Yes.
And there's absolutely no job security out there anymore.
Yes.
And more people today are looking at online businesses. So, I watched when this ad came across my page. It came across several days before I actually clicked on it. Because, I knew friends that were working online and had for years. They didn't make a lot of money, but they were working for somebody. And I thought, if I can do that, like I can work from home, I can work from the camper, I can, do things. But when I came across this business, it was like, oh my gosh, I know I was on my screen, my eyeballs touching it, my mouth hanging open, because I could see it. I seen the number. I seen the business. I seen how it worked, and I understood. It was a business, and I thought, that's it. I'm my own boss. I can be a business. And I knew it wasn't a get rich quick scheme. I knew it was going to take time because being an accountant, I completed many business income taxes, multi-million-dollar businesses right down to the small businesses. And I've seen many over 42 years of doing this, right? So I thought, this business I can do. I really don't know how I'm going to do it because I didn't know how to put a picture on Facebook. I didn't know how long it was going to take. And they were talking a lot about social media, but I thought, I can do this. I can learn it, right? So I registered and I became an online business owner in February of 2017. I had
Wow. It's been
4 years. It was
4 years already.
yeah, February 17th. So, yeah, and I'm a very successful online business owner in those 4 years. But you know what? I treated this like a full-time business.
Mm.
I get up in the morning and I do my Bible study like I do every morning. And then I would go to my office just like I had a full-time job. And I would work this business. And everybody said, well, what do you do? I learned. First of all, I had to learn how to put a picture on Facebook. And thank God I had a grandson that could do it at the time and could teach me how to do it, right? So, he taught me how to do it. And he taught me how to Google and how I could teach myself. And was it an easy task? No, because I was a hard learner. I'm telling you, words like Google and YouTube. And I'm thinking, what are these things? I worked on a computer 12 to 14 hours every day with my job. But I worked on database programs. I worked on income tax programs. I worked on Excel and Microsoft Word and programs like that. So at the end of the day, after working that many hours on a computer, I just wanted to close it and walk away. I didn't want to learn social media. I didn't have the interest in it, right? Mm-hmm. So, but you know what? This is the way of the future. People are home now. People are losing their jobs. People are working from home. People are at their ends of their, they don't know what they're going to do. Well, this isn't a get rich. You're not going to get in it today and you're not going to be making a full paycheck, by the end of the month or, in a couple of months. It's going to take time to build it up to where it needs to be. But believe me, there's only 2 ways to fail in this business. One is to get involved and not do it. Sit and hope that there's going to be a magic wand and say, it's happening. Like, no, you have to put your heart and soul into it, and you really have to work your business. You need to learn it. And the other way is to quit. And why anybody would ever quit? Like, I just don't understand. But anyways, people feel like, we have such rewards in this business that, and we have the best of best. We have the best training on the market. We have people trying to purchase our training. And it's amazing. Like, the training is so easy and it's there for us. And I say to people, you know what? When you want to become a doctor, because you know what? We make more money than doctors.
Yes.
I don't know. But I work my business full force. I do it like a full-time business. And it's the easiest thing I've ever done in my life. I get to talk to people like you all over the world.
Yes,
right? Every day. We would know each other if it wasn't for this business, right?
That's true.
It's the easiest thing I've ever done. And I treat it like a full-time business and I get paid like a full-time business. But did it happen quickly for me? No. I had a learning curve. I had to, learn how my computer. I had to learn social media. I had to learn all these things. And I had to learn how to be a mentor. I had to learn how to help somebody else, right? So, I had the help, and thank God I did. I had the help. I have wonderful mentors. And, I want to be just like them. I want to be just like them. I want to have that heart to help somebody else. And, when you give your help or whatever it is, like it comes back on you tenfold. I honestly believe that. So you need to help everybody and anybody. And the thing of it is, there's no competition in this business. No. Everybody on this planet could be in this business and it's not going to hurt you or me, right? Yeah. It's just amazing how this works.
It
So
definitely is. And you know, when you were saying how you worked for accounting for so long, it's kind of like we were born and we were told and raised to go to school, get
yeah,
a job, work full time, try to stay in that job for as long as you can until you retire. So hopefully when you retire, the company will give you some, you know, benefits when you
yeah,
retire.
yeah,
And that's it. That was your whole entire life. You work for someone else. And no one ever teach us to work for ourselves
yeah.
or to use our money to invest in something else that would benefit us, you know. And that's kind of like, but until now, after 2020, people realize that a job is not secure.
No, and the thing of it is, people save their money for when they retire. And whoever come up with the words like after you turn 65, it's the golden years, they must have been on drugs or something because there's no such thing. Like, if you work all your life, if you're lucky to have a company pension, it's not going to be enough
No, yes.
for you to survive or to be able to travel. So now you've worked all your life, you're out with people, and now they say, no, you can't work anymore. Now you go home and you sit and you wait to die. People get sick because they're not active anymore, and they age quicker. And
That's true.
I don't want to be those statistics. I want to be the people that I want to be able to enjoy my life, because we raised 6 children, and you don't have the money to travel and to do the things when you're raising children. You
No,
need
you
to,
don't.
and I worked all the time. And when I see the young people come into this business that have children, it just melts my heart to think, oh my gosh, if I only had have had that opportunity when I were their age, right? Because in 2 to 5 years, these people are going to be able to travel the world with their children. I've met people here in Mexico that are in our business that travel the world with their children. I mean, now, the situation today has slowed them down some,
Yes.
but they're still doing it some, and they're taking their children, they're homeschooling, and their kids are learning about each country.
Yes. That's
And,
very healthy. That's very good knowledge.
oh my gosh, it is amazing. We raised our 6 children in St. Stephen, New Brunswick. This one of the smaller provinces in Canada, and on the East Coast, and we lived on $30,000 a year. And I made more than that in 1 month in this business. Now,
We do.
right?
Amazing to see the result from the business, the revenue that comes in, and you would never imagine that you can actually make that much, and it's unbelievable. Sometimes I feel like, oh my gosh, is it a dream? Because
I know. Pinch yourself. Like, I know the first time I made the first high 5-figure month, I'm adding up my pay stubs, and I'm adding them again, and I'm doing them again, and my daughter finally said, "Mom, what are you doing?" And I said, "I'm adding these up." She said, "Mom, you're an accountant, you know
exactly.
they're correct, right?" And I said, "But it's unbelievable." And she said, "Just look at your bank account, right?" So it's amazing. And I used to see people that were in these type of businesses, and I used to think, oh yeah, they had money when they started this business. Well, you know what? I didn't. I was broke. I had lost my job. It was a year after I had lost my job that I found this business, and I was broke. And I had to have something, it was a struggle for me. I really struggled. And not just financially, I struggled. I struggled with technology, learning this business. So when I hear people say, oh, they complain, and I'll think, honey, you have no idea. I used to sit at my computer with my hands on my head, and the tears flowing and saying, oh my gosh, am I just too old? Am I too stupid? I had those thoughts, and I had to get rid of that fear. And, I get rid of that fear, and I started living by faith. And when I say faith, I mean, well, of course, I believe in God, but I had to have faith. I had to believe in myself.
In your business. Yes.
I had to believe in the business. I had to believe in the system. And I had to believe in the faith every morning that I could thank God every morning when I woke up that I had one more day to try to be a blessing to somebody else. And once I started doing that and believed in myself and believed in my business and started living by faith, not fear. And I'm a firm believer. I have faith, not fear written on my vehicle. I have it everywhere, because fear will steal your dreams.
Exactly.
Fear will steal your life. And we're not meant to be fearful people. We're meant to be people of faith. We're meant to prosper.
Yes,
And
fear is kind of like it was
well.
taught, right? Fear is like a taught.
Exactly. So, I had to get him out of my own way. Like I had to get out of I was my own worst enemy. I had to get out of my own way, and I had to believe in myself, and I had to stop feeling sorry for myself. I'm seeing people's business come into the business and they're growing faster than I am. And I'm thinking, what's wrong with me? Maybe I'm just, and then I had to think, you know what? We all learn at a different level.
Yes.
We all work at a different level.
Yes.
And maybe I'm not ready to be a mentor to help somebody else. I honestly believe that, God, the universe, whoever it is you believe in out there, I believe that God knew I wasn't ready at that time to move forward in my business. And when it came time that I was ready to move forward, and I started having that faith and believing in myself and the business,
it started coming.
And it's like, oh my gosh. It was really overwhelming to me, because it was happening quickly, and I had gone so long, putting my heart and soul into it. But you know what? Of all people, me being an accountant, I know people would pay hundreds of thousands of dollars to start a brick and mortar business.
Yes.
In 5 years' time, they're still showing a loss and don't take a paycheck. And they're working 24/7, right? They're exhausted. They're played out. They're just, there was no time off. There was no different than them working for somebody else. Only they were working twice as long, twice as hard, and twice as broke.
Yes, right? Because, like people, when they want to have a business, because again, they want to be their own boss. They want to have their own money, control their schedule. But then when you start a business by yourself, there's so many different levels that you have to figure out, from the product to how to get your name out there. And if you do all by yourself, it's a lot more work. It's like you're doing a work of 10 people. So the first few years, they definitely have to put in the sweat, the hours. And sometimes it's draining. It makes them really tired. So your dream of owning your own business so you can, go on vacation more is not going to work, because you're so tired.
Exactly.
From that. So this business, basically, everything is already set up for you, for us, right?
Right.
The system, the training, like you came from accounting, and having to learn something new is very difficult. I know for sure, because I have the difficulty teaching my mom how to use Facebook sometimes and her phone, and I don't have the patience for that, because I'm really quick with technology, and trying to teach her is like, Mom, I just told you, it's just this button right here. She's like, she asked me again over and over. But with our training, you can actually replay over and over until you get it. And no one's going to be using.
I feel where your mother's coming from, because my grandson said, Grandma, write it down. Like, make notes. Well, I would write it down, and I would go to my notes the next day, and I'd say,
you forget it.
Is that? Like, I don't even know what I wrote. So I know where your mother's coming from, but you know what? She can learn this, and she will learn this, and it will blow you away. Teach her how to Google. That's all you got to do, is teach her how to Google. And Casey said to me, he said, Grandma, all you got to do is Google. First of all, he had to explain to me what Google was. I thought, what is Google? And then he said, you need to get a Google Home. Well, what is a Google Home? I got a home. Like all these words, like I had to learn this technology, and they got me a Google Home. And all I had to do was ask the question, and then I argued with it. And he said, you can't argue with it. It doesn't know what you're talking about. But, he said, you gotta ask it the question. How do I put a picture on Facebook? ? Like, when you're typing in. Well, I honestly believed, and I don't know. Sometimes I shouldn't even tell this because people will know how dumb I was or something. I don't know. But I honestly believe that somebody was going to answer back and say, "Hi, Deborah, this is what you do." And anyways, I'm getting all this YouTube stuff and I'm thinking, YouTube, what kind of a word is YouTube? So I had to contact him again. I said, Tacey, honey, like this is just not working for grandma. Like I have no idea that nobody's answering me. And he said, well, what's happening, grandma? And I said, everything that comes up, it says this YouTube thing. And he laughed. He said, grandma, that. And I said, it's my answer. And he said, I said, well, nobody's answering me. It's just the thing.
The clips on YouTube.
Your answer. Click on it and watch it. It's all video based and it will tell you. And then of course I did it and I said, well, it doesn't look like mine. Like, you know, then he explained to me, everybody's computers are different. Everybody's looks a little different, but
the settings different.
You can find, just stop it. Go find where it is on your computer that matches what they're talking about, and you can do it. So God love him. He taught me how to do that. So anything I wanted after that, I learned how to Google, right? And that's
and
where
the world just opened.
And it just, everything opened up. Everything opened up. And then our training is video based too, which is amazing. You can actually see what somebody's doing and they're telling you what to do. And wow, there it is. Like, how easy can that get?
How long did it take you to actually, study all these trainings and get your business started? How long did it take you to get the hang of it?
I had my business. I had, my own ad up and running probably within a month and a half of starting my business. But remember when I started, we had 4 lines of training.
Yes.
And you know what? A lot of people I hear say, oh, the training changes all the time. And it's me. Yes.
It has to change.
It proves to me that we have a team of people that are on top of everything. Because social media, Facebook, all social media platforms change on a daily basis. And our teams are on top of it all. And
because the internet changes every day. Yes.
Oh my gosh. It changes every day. And our people are on top of it. And
yes, I love it.
It's foolproof. Right?
Yeah. And you know what? I saw the mastermind the other day that you're part of the Google training team.
Oh,
now. And that's just amazing because Google platform is something that's so wide and broad, and there's so many data and there's so many ways to reach your customers through Google.
And that is not just the training for
Google.
That's the training for all social media. And I'm not personally involved in doing that, but it's my team.
Yes, yes.
And like I'm a proud mama and grandma when it comes to that because it makes me so great that my team is actually involved in doing this major training for this business. It's amazing, right? It's amazing.
It is. I gotta tell my mom now because she asked about it the other day. It's like, can I do this business? And I was like, why don't you wait until I interview Debra? Because my mom is 70. Okay.
Oh, I have people who are doing that in this business that is doing amazing. They're 4A, 5A, they're up there, they're getting there. It's amazing.
Yeah. I'm gonna tell her, I go, you gotta watch my interview with Debra. It's gonna take you some time if you really want to do this business because she's retired. She doesn't have anything to do right now, and she just wanna be out there. And maybe after this, I can show her slowly.
And I have a group. After people are business owners, I have a group that's for everybody over the age of 50. Oh. And I do training once a week. Once a week. Every week I do a training and work with people that are over the age of 50 because I know what it was like to struggle. And younger people, they grew up with social media.
Yes.
Didn't. I learned how to type on a typewriter that you built muscles up in your arms by typing, It was like, and I
remember my dad using that.
Type, right? On the old Underwood typewriters. And then we got electric ones that, then you hit the keys. And I'm still a heavy typer.
Yes, I remember that.
Right?
The keys were so heavy, you're like...
Oh, yeah. Like you built muscles up in your arms by typing. And, so for our generation, we're slower at learning these things because it's different. It's out of the norm. Like you had said earlier, my generation was taught to, get a good education, get a really good job, marry a rich man. Well, that didn't happen, and, that was what we were taught. And you work until you work for the same company. Well, that's pretty hard nowadays to stay with the same company, because if that company can get rid of you before it's retirement age, they don't have to pay that pension.
Oh, okay. That's why my aunt, she's supposed to retire by July, right? And she really wanted to, and she's having issue with her boss right now. And right now we're in April. So she has 3 months. So she was afraid that if she does something that he doesn't like, he'll let her go before her retire. I see.
How sad is that? The only person you can put in this business is yourself, right? Because you're your own boss.
Yes.
Right. And so, yeah, I can't say enough about this business, Gwen. I'm sorry, I get carried away. I know I made your go live go.
It just shows that you're so passionate, and this business is your life right now, that you can just open your mouth and all you can talk about is about your business because you love it so much.
And you know what? Everywhere I go, this morning I went out for breakfast with my friends Debbie and Murray, who live here, who are also my business partners. Right. And we went out for breakfast this morning, and there was a lady and her daughter sitting beside us at the table from California. Well, guess what? They will be business partners before the end of the week, guaranteed. Because I do not talk to anybody without give them my business card or let them scan my QR code.
That's wonderful. That's
they register right then and there. I like to get them to scan the business card or my QR code, because they can register right there when I'm there and become a lead.
Right. We have viewers today, and they're asking, how long does it take to build your passion?
That is, everybody's different. It took me longer because I'm still building, right? Because I have a business right now that if something should happen to me today, I have it willed to my daughter. And she could walk into this business and she could sit back and enjoy the income that I've already built from it. Or she could step in and build it bigger, twice as big and better.
Do it.
Your passion, my passion, like, it didn't happen quickly for me. I was probably a little over a year before I was making money that I could support myself. Like, this is my only income, right? So for the little bit of Canada pension you get, I couldn't feed myself for that, right? And so it's up to the individual how long it's going to take for them to build this business. That's you. And some of us, it takes longer than others, but you know what? The only way to lose is quit. What happens if, you say, oh, it's
not so true.
But you know what? It will work for everybody. It's not a get rich quick. And I gave myself a 5-year plan. I wanted to give myself 5 years because I'm familiar with businesses. I have my dog here bugging me. He must have. I gave myself a 5-year plan to be, to invest into my business for 5 years and to be making $5,000 a month that I can support myself. That's all my first goal was. Well, when I made that, it was like, wow. And then it just, started increasing. And once you start your business and it gets to a place where you are, you can't stop it. I'm sorry, but even if you quit, you're going to get money. You don't want to do that because you can get 3 times that amount if you stay in the business, right? Yeah. So I don't know.
I'm sure there's a lot, as you go up, there's definitely going to be a lot of stress. And that's with every business, It doesn't matter whether it's offline or online. Wherever you get to a certain stage, you have to handle a lot more. And that's the fun of it, because you get to decide. You make the decision yourself.
If you're getting stressed, it's time to go get a glass of water and go for a walk. Because if you get stressed at work, there's nothing you can do. You got to sit there and take it or get upset. This business, if you start getting stressed or, because you're not getting something, you can contact a friend, you can contact your mentor, you can contact your coach, you can go for a walk. There's not one person to say you can't get up, push your computer away from yourself and walk away from it for a while. And building a business is not always easy. Nobody said it's easy, but nobody said it's hard either. It's as easy or as hard as you make it.
Yes.
Right? I live by faith, not fear. So I don't let anything stress me anymore.
You enjoy the process of building your own
Nothing
business.
stresses me. If I get to a point I'm working on something and I don't quite understand it, well, I look at my 2 little doggies and say, it's time to go for a walk, right? And, you just go, and then I come back to it when I'm ready. It might not even be till the next day, but it gives me time to think about it and think, or it gives me time to contact a friend and talk about it, because I still am not real tech savvy. And I still struggle with some things, and I still have to reach out and get some help and say, oh my gosh, I've been working on this for 3 days and I still can't do it. And I ask somebody and they say, oh, it's this. And it's like, it's as easy as anything to do, but I struggled with it, right? So, I have to teach myself, when I struggle, ask for help.
That's right. Don't be afraid to ask for help.
Right? Don't stress myself. Ask for help right away. So
yeah. No one's going to think the great with this business is that in the community, no one's going to look down on you and say, oh, that's so easy. You didn't get that. No, everyone is saying, okay, you know what? Let's find a way for you to understand it better.
Yep. And I tell my people, if you ask me a question and I giggle, I'm not laughing at your question. I'm laughing because I asked the exact same question. I tell them, don't ever be afraid to ask me a question, because if I can answer it, I will. And if I can't, I'll say,
somebody else will.
Find it. Well, let's go find the answer, right? There's always a way to find it. And, but don't ever feel there's a stupid question, because I've asked them all. And if that's the case, every question I've asked is stupid. But, and those ones that I felt were stupid questions, those are the ones I remember the most. The answer to those. There's the ones I remember the most.
Wow.
So they were the struggled ones, the ones I struggled with, some of the silly ones. I shouldn't even tell this in public. But anyway, one day, it was when I first few months of being in the business, and Darren kept saying to me, get the app on your phone and do a lot of work on your phone. And I said, I don't know if I can do it on my phone. Yes, you can. So I got the app on my phone, and I opened up my training, and I'm clicking and I'm clicking. All day I clicked, nothing. The next day I went to the training, click, click, nothing. Third day, this is 2 days straight. I'm clicking on my phone all day long, and I'm really getting frustrated. I'm thinking, they've taken me out. I'm just too old and too stupid to do this. They've taken me out of the business. So I finally get up the nerve to call Darren, and I said, have you guys removed me from the business? He said, what are you talking about? And I said, well, I'm on my training site, and I'm clicking and I'm clicking, and nothing's happening. Nothing's happening. And he said, Debra, are you on your phone or your computer? I said, I'm on my phone. See, I said, I told you I couldn't do it on my phone. He said, okay, take your index finger to the bottom of your screen, put it on your screen, and scroll upwards. Nobody told me I could do that. I said, nobody told me I could do that. And it was like he giggled, like he really giggled. And I said, oh my gosh, now talk about a dumb question, right? And he said, no questions are dumb. But I know he probably got off the phone and was saying to Mike, oh my gosh, this woman, but
about today, that was not a dumb question, because I had the same problem.
There you go, right? So when people ask me that question now, I giggle, because I think I was probably the first one they ever had asked that question to them, because I was probably the oldest person in the community when I came into the business.
Because I've always used my desktop to do all my work, and then one day I was out on the road, and then my mentee asked me something. So I had to go on through my phone. I've never done it on my phone, and I never read the details whether that you should scroll to the bottom, right? So I went on, and I was like, I clicked on everything and nothing opens, and I was like, something's wrong with this site. It's not like compatible with the phone. I was so mad.
Yeah.
Then I went home, I went on my desktop and I looked carefully through the training, and it says if you're using your phone, you should scroll to the bottom. It's where you'll be able to see all the training.
Yeah, so I've asked a lot of silly questions, but you know, they weren't silly because I had never
Done it before.
brand new. It's and like you know, I hear Mike say once in a while in our coaches training and things. He'll say, you know, well, I thought this was something that was common sense to people, and I'll say, don't think it's common sense to people because you have people like me that have never even seen these type of things before. It's not common sense. We need a little bit of guidance, right?
Yes,
So now there's a little bit more guidance in everything that they do now. So it makes it much easier.
Okay.
But that's
so
why
much,
we have the group, you know, after people become business owners, that they can join in, you know, the group that's for the 50 plus group.
I'll let my mom know and see. She'll watch the workshop and see how she feels, and you know, and see how she'll start this. Maybe it could be a mom and daughter kind of thing.
Yeah, just got to as we're talking.
Yeah.
You know, it's amazing how well this business works, and it doesn't matter as long as you're 18 years old and older, you can do this business. I have people in our business that are in their 20s and
we do.
are home with their families, and you know, dancing with their kids every day and watching their children take their first steps and their first words, and you know, and how amazing is that? And not having to worry if you're going to get laid off your job or not.
Yes, same here. Yeah, I'm actually working at home with my kids, and I'm really happy to see it because I worked through corporate for so many years, and I don't like the corporate politics. That's one thing that just drains my energy, and I come home, you know, stressed because I have to deal with that when I wake up in the morning the next day, going in there, and it's so dreading, and I don't like that at all. You know, I want to just work and come home and make money and feed my kids. But I'm drawn into all these politics at work, and it's not necessary, you know?
Exactly.
Thank you so much, Debra. And usually, before I end our interview with on my guest, I usually ask a question. So my question is to you: is if you had to describe yourself with 3 words, what would it be?
Faith, not fear.
Faith, not fear. That is your motto, and that's going to be what you live by. So that's definitely you. You're definitely not fearful of anything because you step into this business with no knowledge, no connection, and no education of it at all. And you learn from the beginning, like kind of like my son, how I taught him how to ride. My husband taught him how to ride a bike. We put on training wheels, you know, and it took him a while to be comfortable. And finally, we just took it off, and he just went off without any worries. He just sped off and doing all these, you know, turns and curves and stuff. And it's just so wonderful to see that.
And you know what? I love that. I've never heard that before about learning how to ride a bicycle. It's so true. It's like when we start this business, we have our training wheels on.
Yes.
Right? And when we're ready, we can take those training wheels off. And until then, we can leave those training wheels on and still get around, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
Amazing. I love it. I'm using that one.
Sure, go ahead. Thank you so much for spending some time with me and my followers, and you know, letting us know about your business and where you're at. And I really hope to see more great milestone in the business for you. And I hope to see you in our community.
Yes. Yes.
Thank you so much. Do you want to say bye to everyone? I think we have hi to everyone. There was a lot of people saying hi to you on here because I believe we all know you. Everyone in this business know who Debra is.
Well, you know what? I want people to realize we're all equal in this business. We all started the exact same way. So the level I'm at today, everybody in this business can be there and above. I have people shooting past me. No problem. Love it. The more they do, the more I love it. So
that's wonderful. Thank you so much, everyone, and bye. I'll see you next time.
Thank you, Gwen. God bless.
God bless.